You know that feeling when you check your bank account, and instead of immediately closing the app in horror, you actually smile. Like when you stop calculating whether you can afford that coffee, or if buying groceries means eating ramen for the rest of the week. There's a specific number where this shift happens, and it's not what most people think. Most financial gurus will tell you that you need $1 million to feel wealthy, or that 6 figures is the magic number. But here's the thing they're missing. There's a much smaller milestone that completely transforms your relationship with money. And once you hit it, everything changes. That number is $20,000. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, financial psychology, and why some people seem to effortlessly build wealth while others stay stuck in the same financial patterns for decades. If you're someone who wants to understand the real mechanics behind wealth building instead of just hoping things will magically improve, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it ends up helping you see money differently. Now, before we dive into why $20,000 is the real game changer, let me ask you something. When you think about building wealth, what comes to mind? Maybe you picture some trust fund kid who never had to worry about money. Or perhaps you imagine someone grinding away for years, slowly accumulating wealth $1 at a time. The truth is, wealth building doesn't work the way most people think it does. Here's what actually happens. There are certain financial thresholds that act like invisible barriers. Once you cross them, the rules of the game completely change. $20,000 is the first major threshold that separates those who will build significant wealth from those who will spend their entire lives living paycheck to paycheck. And the crazy part is, most people have no idea this threshold even exists. Think about it this way. If you've ever tried to push a heavy boulder up a hill, you know that getting it started is the hardest part. You're straining, sweating, making very little progress, and questioning whether it's even possible. But once you build enough momentum, something magical happens. The boulder starts moving faster, and eventually, when you reach the top, it rolls down the other side almost effortlessly. $20,000 is that turning point where your financial boulder finally crests the hill. Everything before this point feels like you're pushing uphill against gravity. Everything after this point feels like gravity is working in your favor. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is something that will probably surprise you. The difference isn't just mathematical. It's not simply that you have more money to invest, or that your returns are larger in absolute terms. The real magic happens in your brain. When you don't have money saved, your brain operates in what psychologists call survival mode. Every financial decision is filtered through fear and scarcity. You take the first job offer that comes along, even if it's terrible, because you can't afford to be picky. You stay in situations you hate because leaving feels too risky. You say yes to things you don't want to do because you need the money. This isn't just about being practical or responsible. When you're in survival mode, your brain literally can't think about growth and opportunity. It's like trying to plan a vacation while your house is on fire. Your mental bandwidth is completely consumed by immediate threats and short-term survival. But something remarkable happens when you cross that $20,000 threshold. Suddenly, your brain has the space to think differently. Instead of asking, "How do I survive until next paycheck?" you start asking, "How can I grow this money?" Instead of being reactive to whatever financial crisis pops up, you become proactive about building wealth. Research from Vanguard shows that having just $2,000 in emergency savings increases your financial well-being by 21%. $2,000. That's less than most people spend on a vacation or a fancy laptop. But that small buffer creates a massive psychological shift because it moves you out of pure survival mode When you push that emergency fund to 3 to 6 months of living expenses, which for most people lands somewhere around $20,000, you get another 13% boost in financial well-being. But more importantly, you've now created enough breathing room for your brain to start thinking about wealth building instead of just wealth preservation. Here's where the math starts getting really exciting. Let's say you're saving $1,000 every month and earning an 8% return on your investments. Getting to your first $20,000 takes about 19 months of consistent saving and investing.